if I had a policy suggestion for the Ministry of Education,
Right.
I would say cut the JC spaces in half. Just throw it up. Push everyone to poly.
Why?
Because I think being a product of the A-level system, junior college is not useful to you at all. Unless you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, not even engineer, doctor or lawyer.
Hey, did you hear that?
Yeah, what was that? Sounded like some whooshing.
Yeah, some whoosh, right?
Oh, wait.
Hey, again.
Remember who's supposed to be coming today?
Ah, it's gonna be you know who.
Once he was just an ordinary boy. Now he is defender of the universe. Look, there he goes now, off to save the universe yet again.
Oh, yeah.
As well as your careers. Faster than a speeding resume. A hero to the man on the street. And getting you back on your feet. He is Captain Careers, Adrian Choo.
All right. And for the new season 5, I've got with me the man, the superhero that we've heard earlier on. We heard his whoosh, 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 whoosh. I told Kai, he's here already, man. He's already here. Captain Careers, Adrian Choo, our career strategist from Career Agility International. Welcome back, bro.
Always so happy to be here. Just hearing your laughter, it just makes my day. It's just so fun.
I wish some people would feel that way.
You should trademark their laughter.
Oh gosh, really? I mean, I tell you something. I tell you how funny life is, man. I'm so happy you said that because I was feeling so demoralized somewhere last week. You know, I do something for church. Okay. Every week for the last almost 2 years, every week without fail, there's this thing we call a weekly bulletin, you know, announcements and stuff. And I mooted the idea that to the church at that time that, look, man, I mean, you know, the people who are blind, they attend church, right?
Yeah.
There are people who are too busy to even read. They're just on the street. Maybe they're private hire drivers. Right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, I mean, do they pick up the bulletin? Do they read it? Or can they read it? How about those who are dyslexic, for example?
Oh, yes,
right? So, okay. So why don't I do this? Why don't I just read, you know, the bulletin every week? Right? And I read the bulletin every week, record it. We put it up into the website and people can listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we also allow for a link for feedback now. I never bothered about the feedback, never bothered to check till just last week. I wanted to quit, man. Damn it.
Oh, no.
Oh, man, the Pharisees.
You're going to get excommunicated soon.
Well, you know, for this, I mean, I'm still doing it, but, you know, I told them to get rid of the feedback link because it can't be bothered anymore. You know, when you read announcements, right? You got to make sure that people know details.
Yeah.
I mean, the finite details.
Yes.
Unless, of course, they're crazy links with all kinds of small letters and big letters and small letters and big letters. You know the links that you've got?
Yes, correct.
I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to ask you to refer to the bulletin for that. But people are saying, it's too long. Are you kidding me?
No, that's a problem with everyone nowadays. They don't read.
Yeah, not just that. They're saying that it's too long. The whole thing that I read, you know, it's just too long. Yeah. How can it, if I don't read them, I'm going to get some other complaints. So damn if you do, damn if you don't situation, right? It's too, you're not giving me details. Then the people will say it's too long, which I've had that. I've had that already. Yeah. Then another one says this, it's not a joking matter. Dude, this is just announcements. And I'm not joking anyway. I'm just sounding happy.
Yeah.
So I can't sound happy. No, I'm going to sound really sad, like I'm in pain. I mean, what do you want? You know, I just don't get it, you know? I mean, I'm doing this for free.
You know, that's
for free.
And therein lies the problem, okay? You can't please everybody all the time.
I know.
Right?
I know.
It's the same.
I'm just whinging and whining. I'm just whining, man. I'm just being a bitch about this. Yeah. Because it's like, you think it's so easy to do stuff like this. It's not easy, man.
And it takes time. It takes effort.
Well, I'm still going to continue doing it and not give a fuck about what anyone says anymore. Yeah, I really don't. I mean, so many people do thankless things, huh?
Yes.
Thankless things, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, which is why I'm telling you this story because you are the guy that's, you know, an expert on careers, right? And what people ought to do or ought not to do in advancing their careers, and that's why I just wanted to bitch about this. Someone else will be bitch too about this, but welcome back to the show, man.
Always happy to be here. They talking about doing thankless things. It's a lot of times at the workplace, a lot of things you do, thankless. And a lot of times when things go right, no one thanks you. But when things go wrong, suddenly it's all your fault.
Yeah, but when things go right, when things go right, they up your KPI because you're doing it so well. And then in the end, you get no life.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Yeah. So that's why I always espouse a life of mediocrity and no, I'm just kidding. Always do your best.
Stay away from my son.
No, I always believe you should put in your best foot forward.
Hey, speaking of sons, brother, well done, man. Congratulations. Your boy is quite something, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I just saw your post.
Yeah, he's had a good run. He's in first year NUS Law.
Yeah.
He did pretty well for the last mood competition.
Yeah, the mood competition, he won it, right?
He won it and he got best. Funny, he got best oralist.
What? Yes. Can he come up with something better than that?
I was thinking, these are brilliant linguists, cunning linguists. Why do they have to come out with the word oralist? It's like, no, not an orator or best oralist. Okay, is it what? Okay.
Oralist.
Best oralist. I say, what?
I mean, is that written on his?
Yes, it's just that it's best oralist. It's like, what do you do?
I mean, I wouldn't put it up.
Till that was.
Well, it looks like he's got a brilliant career coming up for him. Huh?
He's insanely crazy about law. So he just got it. So he's in first year, he loves it.
Wow.
He doesn't stop talking about it.
Well, that's cool. Man.
Yeah, and he's doing very well there.
That's cool, man.
It's crazy. I mean, it helps that, and I'm going to take credit for this. It helps to have a dad who's a career coach who spotted the talent when he was young.
Not shy.
Not shy, but
Age-old question, man. Age-old question. Be my own boss or find a job, which is going to be the what we're going to be really working on today for this episode, for this season, right? Yeah, this is the super episode, because the I Love My Job series. I mean, I always make sure that you are here because you are the guy behind, who is the expert in these matters, right? I'm still going to have another one or two, I think one more episode. I say one more episode of someone who's also got quite a unique job that he's working.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to have that guy on. But you're not going to be the finale episode for our job because we changed the sequence of how we've done we've done things before for this season. So anyone that comes in, whatever we've shot already, will come up, in that queue. Yeah. Okay, so what do you think? Be my own boss or find a job? Is it relevant today?
I think everyone should be their own boss somehow or other. But if you're talking about if you're early on in your career, I think you should work for someone because you need to have the experience, the understanding of how business runs, and I think that helps a lot with regards to being a successful entrepreneur. The first business I ever ran, and I told you before, was a skeleton business which I was running. Yeah, bones. I was selling bones to medical students when I was 20.
Forgot about that. Your middle name Bones.
My middle name's Bones. So when I did that, I learned a lot of things, but only when I had my first job in Shell and then into GE Plastics, I really realized how to scale the business. And a lot of systems and processes.
Right.
So that's why today, for Career Agility, I started this business in 2018. And that's only after many years of corporate experience. That makes me able to run the business better.
Yeah, but bro, that was ages ago, man. Today's context. I just saw this meme somewhere. I didn't want to put it up. I don't want to put it up because I don't want to get us both in trouble. But let me give you a little, just give some context to it. Like mommy and daddy told me, they go and study hard, go to university, get a degree, come out, and then you're going to get a job. But mommy and daddy, a good job. Mommy and daddy didn't tell me that, besides me, getting that good job, it'd be some other people from some other parts of the world that's probably, been sponsored to study.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Yeah. And then, guarantee the job, and then I'll be competing with these guys, right? Nowadays, is it true? You got to tell me, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. Reports are reports, right? graduates, when they graduate, can they still find jobs at this time?
And that's a very interesting phenomenon because just last month or 2 months ago, there was a report that an increasing number of fresh graduates are finding it tough to get jobs.
Still.
But
is that what's officially reported or?
It's being officially reported.
Okay. What's the source, man? Sorry.
Albeit,
not that I don't trust you.
No. Albeit, it's still a high number. It's about 93% do land jobs within 6 months.
Okay.
But there's a 9%-ish that don't.
Okay.
And it's not so much a quantum, but they are seeing an increasing number, a trend,
right,
of fresh graduates not being able to land jobs. And the question is why?
Yeah.
Right? Why?
Yeah.
And I've got some rather unpopular ideas about why it's not. I think, number one, the question is, are we training our graduates right? In the courses that is what the market wants. So for instance, I was talking to this individual, okay, a fresh graduate, graduated early last year. He was in an interesting course, which is in information systems.
Okay.
What does information systems sound like to you?
I have no freaking clue.
Sounds like computer stuff.
I thought I would think so.
Yeah, I think so, right? But it's not hardcore computer technology stuff.
Right.
It's how to manage the business information. It's like a business course with some IT thrown in. So you're neither a business, not a pure business grad.
Right.
Neither are you a pure coding IT guy.
Right.
So he's in between.
He's like data gathering for business?
Among other things.
Right.
So when he goes for interviews, he goes to interview with the technology firms.
Right.
The Apples, the Googles, the Metas, and everyone look at him and says, yeah, but can you code? No. He goes to all the business, the banks and everything, says, yeah, but do you know your business? Do you know finance?
Yeah.
No. Then what can you do?
So it's a worthless course.
I hate to say it is.
It is what?
It is.
I mean, you're neither here nor there. You're half fucked.
Well put.
Hey, can you stop being such a prude, man? Stop that fucking thing, man.
Okay. You see,
I mean, half fucked.
Yeah. I would say 3/4 actually. Okay, well done. not even medium rare. Well done.
Okay.
So it's neither here nor there. No, I'm not saying everybody who takes a course can get a job. Of course, if you're graduating in the top half, or but the question is, are you being trained in the skills that the market wants?
Okay.
And in this case, I don't think so.
Right.
So then the question is, why are you doing that?
Okay.
You see? So once again, and I asked this individual, why do you take it? It sounded fun. I kind of liked computers. I kind of liked business. I couldn't decide which one, so I chose the halfway road.
Interesting. When he said, I found it fun, it must have been back then when he was deciding what course to take, right?
Yes.
And how old was he when he had to make that choice?
Just finished army. And you're
what
young.
would he know?
And you're young and stupid, like I was.
Well, we all were.
We all were, right?
Yeah.
Now just old and stupid.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, but everyone. The good news is that everyone was at least young and stupid once.
Yes.
Once in a while. Some people continue being stupid, like you and me. But never mind. The thing is that this guy, just taking this example, interesting. I find it interesting. When you're about 16 years old, and you're taking your O-levels, you want to decide, am I going to go to JC or am I going to go to Polytechnic?
Yes.
And then making a decision of what I like at that age is already so tough. And then look, 2-3 years after the fact, right? You leave secondary school, you go into either JC or Polytechnic.
Yeah. And
then you land up in the army if you're a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The girls, I think it's a little tougher on them.
Yes.
But for the guys, because you have that 2-year
you can think about
hiatus.
At least, yeah, correct.
Yeah, hiatus. The girls continue on. They're still in that mode. You know what I mean? They're still in that mode. They haven't stopped. You're in that swing. The follow through is still there. Yeah. Okay.
The momentum
using golf as an analogy.
Yes, correct.
Yep. The momentum is there and you're still in the system. The guys get out, they go into NS and I'm an advocate for national service. Don't go in the wrong way because of what I'm saying. So they go in for 2 years. When they come out, it's a little rust that's gathered in your entire system, right? We both know that.
A lot of rust.
Yeah. You had to make a decision again. And you're already from one mode, you went into the military mode, you came out of the military mode, and you're going to go back to the old mode you were in.
Yeah.
And even then, you're still kind of young.
Yeah.
To know better.
Yeah.
and you make a decision on, I think this sounds like fun. I mean, it's a little bit challenging.
The logic isn't there.
Yeah, the logic isn't there.
So I would say, in fact,
yeah,
that if I had a policy suggestion for the Ministry of Education,
right,
I would say cut the JC spaces in half. Just throw it up. Push everyone to poly.
Why?
Because I think being a product of the A-level system, junior college is not useful to you at all. Unless you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, not even engineer, doctor or lawyer. Because in what good earth can you find any practical use for learning second-order differential equations and calculus?
What? Okay.
Oh, what? Exactly. Polar. I was looking at
nobody gives a shit.
Nobody gives them. No, I'm looking at it and I'm like,
yeah.
So it's no point. And if you study, and if you want, okay, for instance, my daughter, she's 17. Okay, she just finished O levels. She wanted to do the humanities program in junior college.
Right.
Okay, and I told her why.
Yeah.
Why? She said, "Oh, because I want to do HR like you, Dad."
Right.
That's it. You do not need A levels to do HR.
Yeah.
I said, you get a degree, but whatever you learn in junior college does not help you in the single smallest iota.
No iota, yeah. Not an iota, yeah.
It's at all, you know.
Yeah.
And you, whereas if you popped over to Polytechnic and get a diploma,
right,
and then you do well enough there,
right,
get into university,
right,
you'll be graduating with a degree and a diploma.
All right.
As opposed to, no. And she said, yeah, but only the top 5% of students can get into can jump from the poly to diploma, from poly to university. And I said, I hate to say it, but A level as well, because only the top students, because to get into a good degree course in university, only the straight A students will get in, or the AAB students.
Yeah,
and that's not easy to get. It's harder to get actually.
Yeah. And if you come out with 2 A's, 2 O's, I don't know what it is today, but back in our day, it was 2 A's, 2 O's is a full A level cert, right? The guy with the diploma is better off than you.
Yeah, correct. And
when you get out there into the working world,
exactly,
which is why, I mean, that was the logic that my son also had, or has. He's going through his O levels this year, right? And he wants to go to poly. Yeah. He sort of identified what he wants to do now, and of course, being parents, that we do our best as parents to discover whether or not the choice he's making is the right kind of choice. And we went through a lot of, not just that one time, over the course of months.
Long conversations.
Yeah, we have long conversations about making sure that this is truly what he wants.
Yeah.
And we are kind of confident that it is, because, and surprisingly so, just in case you don't know, because your kids your daughter's passed the O levels already. So maybe you're still within the system, but I am in the system right now where secondary schools are concerned. One thing I love about my son's school, which is my old school, and is that they actually have career week.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And they invite all kinds of jobs and businesses to come in.
Oh, nice.
And people to have exhibition booths,
Okay, nice.
And these guys actually go around asking, what is this about? What does one need to do? And whether or not they will like it in the future. Not just these guys, including the various polytechnics also set up.
Yeah, nice.
And they tell them that these are the people that we've produced, and what they've done so far in their lives, and blah blah blah. And I think that's a very good move. I don't know about the other schools though, and it can help these guys.
Yeah.
Make informed decisions.
Because those are real world information.
Exactly.
And you can plug on.
I think it's marvelous. I think it's marvelous.
They all should do it. I know many schools do it, but how well they do it is probably another issue.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about it is that right now, a lot of my daughter's classmates, top students, they're bypassing the A-level system and they're going straight to poly. And so much so that the course which my daughter is getting into, it's tougher to get into that than into junior college. So the poly cutoff point is higher than junior college.
Yeah.
It's tougher.
People always seem to think that it's easier to get into poly. It's not true.
Not anymore.
You've got to pass the interview as well.
Yeah. So what is interesting is that the government is starting to recognize that. Okay.
Yeah.
And they are saying that, look, if you do a 3-year polytechnic program, we can try and shave off modules of your university.
Yeah.
1 year. So in other words, instead of your standard 2-year junior college, 4-year uni, right?
Yeah.
It's a 3 years and 3 years.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
only for engineering.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I asked at the open house, I asked the dean of the business school at the Polytechnic, saying, will MOE consider doing that for all other courses? And he said no.
Right now they say no, like in back in the day, a lot of people have said no to a lot of things too.
Yeah. But and I said, I think I know why no.
Never say never, man.
You know why he says no? Not yet. Because the moment they do a 3+,
They do 3.
they're going to shut down the junior colleges, 3/4. No one's going to bother going to JC. Just going to go to Poly because, hey, Poly, you've got learning the stuff that you like. You know, no stupid school
But frankly
rules.
speaking, I agree with you. I don't see the need for having junior colleges.
So that's why I think it should be axed totally.
Yeah.
Okay, not totally. Maybe for those who want to pursue the university, Harvard and
It's
everything.
getting irrelevant, you know.
It is
getting
and that's
irrelevant.
why they need to.
And frankly, bro, even if you go into a diploma course in a polytechnic and you don't make the grade to go into university, right?
Yeah.
You go to work, you save up money,
Yes.
right? And then you can do a part-time degree on your own.
Yes.
And you can make a better, more informed choice
Yes.
because you've been out there working
You-
already.
you know
and
what
you
you
know
want.
the direction you're going to go.
Yes. And what you don't want to do. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. So
and there's no harm in getting your degree a little later, and you're not going to be burdening your folks as well. You can actually do it on your own.
Yeah.
Save your own money, right? I don't know whether they can use their own CPF as well, but now with Skills Future, what the hell not, right?
Yeah.
Right? You can have that. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is going to be an ongoing affair. And they can use that money and they can upgrade and they can go for degree courses
Yes.
on their own. You know, I don't see that, oh, you got to finish it, come out for NS,
Yes.
you go into university, finish it and all, blah, 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 get your degree. I mean, come on, bollocks. It doesn't have to happen that way.
And that's why I say the education system today is archaic.
Yeah.
It's based on a 1980s model, which doesn't hold out today in the real world. As far as careers are concerned, I've never seen a successful person, okay, who ever complained that I was from the Poly and everything. A lot of individuals I see, really good guys, they explored, took gap years, played around, found something they wanted to do, and then, successful even though they don't have a degree.
Right.
So that's why I think it needs to be relooked at by people who are not in the system.
Let's move this conversation a bit forward, bro.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, okay, these guys come out. You're saying that there's still a good 7 to 9% that can't find jobs, right? So, okay, these are the people who really, gone, you give a one fine example. This guy that has got this 3/4 baked
IS degree.
Yeah.
Information systems.
Degree. What other issues do you think playing a part in some of these fresh grads not being able to find work?
And I love Gen Zers, but a lot of Gen Zers I speak to, they tell me they're being very choosy about the jobs they want because it does not fit my purpose in life. This job sounds like it's got no work-life balance. And I spoke to this lady, this young lady, and I scolded her. I said, I don't want to sound like an uncle, but in the first 5 years of life, 5 years of life, forget about work-life balance. Can you learn as much as you can? Work-life balance. I think you don't have kids. You don't have anything yet. Okay, breathe, inhale.
I just don't understand that. It doesn't serve my purpose.
It doesn't serve my purpose in life.
Okay, so you're saying that these people, when they're in bed and then they have a vision, and such a divine vision that you have been chosen to be this and that, is it? Please lah.
So
Please.
I have an answer to that, So I told her, she said the job, I was offered 2 jobs, but no, it did not fit my purpose in life. So I said, okay, imagine the job was offered to you. If it offered you double the pay, will you take it? Yes. It's not about the purpose.
Well, yeah, don't sound like such a freaking
Like very sanctimonious.
sanctimonious. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for,
I
man.
don't want to be
Freaking sanctimonious,
So I
man.
said you have to be real and get real. And that's why, for my advice to the young Gen Z listeners out there is get experience.
Get a grip.
Get a grip. When my boy was young in primary school, I used to joke with him. I say, we used to talk about careers. He said, Dad, what do you think I should do when I grow up and everything?
Uh-huh.
Then I said, okay, whatever it is, I hope the first boss you get is the meanest, the worst, the toughest boss you're ever going to get. I said, why, Dad? You're so mean to me, I said, no, trust me. I had the worst boss. If your first boss is the worst, after that,
and everything else is enjoy. Everything else is enjoy.
So ultimately, I think the formative years, that's why I said, unless you have a fantastic business idea, okay, that cannot be delayed, then you like what Mark Zuckerberg and all those other guys did, quit school even, quit uni, you do it,
Right.
But if you don't have, if it's not that urgent, go through the
rudiments,
the rigmarole of having the 9-to-5 job, learn everything, learn all about hardship. And then when the good business idea comes along, so to answer your question, which is a very long way around, own boss or work for people, be your own boss only when you're sure of what you want to do. Because otherwise, like what Mark Cuban of Shark Tank, he says they are entrepreneurs, those people who brilliantly come up with an idea and they put all in and they be successful, right? And they are entrepreneurs. A entrepreneur is someone who wants to be an entrepreneur. So he sits around, he quits his job and he says, okay, what can I sell? What can I start? Is those entrepreneurs find it more difficult because they're not starting their business from a core business idea.
Okay.
So I would always say, strive towards getting to the level where you are your own boss.
Right.
But before that, learn as much as you can, earn as much as you can so that you're ready when the idea comes along.
Okay. But how about those who really still can't find work?
Then you need to find out what's the reason. Sometimes like that young guy, you're not rightly skilled. Sometimes your skill sets are gone. In 2017, I met this guy, he was working in the Yellow Pages.
My gosh. Who the hell uses Yellow Pages?
At the end of 2017, he was showing me the product he was pushing, his CD-ROMs.
Oh gosh.
You don't remember the old days?
Yeah, I do. I remember that. Yeah.
I think your guys are still pushing that. Okay. Likewise, today, I still see people talking about, I'm still in the magazine business.
Yeah.
Seriously, are you in a magazine? What? It's hello. So there are things that are almost going already.
Yeah.
Okay. Print publishing is one. Like I said.
Yeah.
Magazines.
They're not going they're just adapting and they've gone to E.
It's tough. It's still tough to monetize now like the old days.
Yeah.
Like TV.
Yeah.
I don't remember when was the last time you saw free to air TV programs?
Channel News Asia, that's it.
Okay, besides the news, right?
No, nothing else.
Yeah. And even things like, breaking news, like the earthquake.
Yeah.
I got it on my phone first.
Yeah. You get
I wasn't going to wait till 8 p.m. or 9 p.m.
Yeah.
So the format has changed.
Right.
And if you're in one of those industries that's obviously the writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
I think it's time to move on.
Basically, the writing says you are fucked. Yeah.
Expiry date. Yeah. It's like, and sometimes they are dead men walking.
Yeah.
They're in the business already and
they're already on death row, basically.
Yeah, correct. Your life support. So for instance, if you're working in the bank, right? And if you're still at the branch, if you're a branch manager, you must start asking yourself, why is it that the big banks like Citibank, they've basically shut off all their branches? They've closed all their branches.
Right.
Why? Because nobody wants to go to the branch. I went to the branch last month. Okay, because I needed to open an account.
You have to make an appointment.
You're right. You gotta make an appointment.
Yeah.
And I went in with my hat.
Yeah.
They told me to take my hat off.
Yep.
For security reasons.
That's true lah.
What?
This has been going on for a while.
And then I was wearing my glasses, the photochromatic ones.
Yeah.
No sunshades.
Yeah.
I was like, this is why I do my banking online. No, I can do whatever I want.
So you feel like shit, right?
Yeah, you just get treated like that. And it's like, okay, it's good to be polite about it.
Yeah.
But there's so many things that, if you're in a business model, business where you see that it's shrinking. So to your question, if you are not able to look for a job or land a job,
right?
Is it because your skill sets are outdated? Is it because your industry is dying? So much so that so you see, it's a matter of supply and demand. Huh?
Yeah.
It's the skills that the skills you're supplying, not in demand anymore.
Right.
Okay.
Outdated.
Not updated. Or are the skills you're supplying to the contract, to the deal, to the work, can it be done cheaper elsewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's another factor, right?
Yeah.
Or can the skills that I'm bringing to the table, can AI do it?
Yeah.
So that's one issue.
Okay, no.
The other one is the demand, is there even a demand for what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I can be a fantastic pager repairman. Okay, I can fix whatever it is. No one uses pages anymore, right? Or some old technology. So it's just gone.
Oh, I repair Blackberries.
So it's crazy. Okay, that you have that you're in a space where there's no more demand for your skills.
Right.
And
It's sad, actually.
It's unfortunate that because of AI now,
Yeah.
both the supply and the demand have been shut off.
Yeah.
The supply, what you can do, AI can do better.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's the thing, you see. That's why, you see, when you take a look at socials, and my socials anyway, right?
Yeah.
Because in my socials, doing the stuff that I do, the algorithm would churn out stuff that I'm interested in looking at. Well, something that of interest to me, but I'm actually very disinterested in this, is that I keep seeing this stupid ad that comes up that says, it's an animation with a what's the word for it? It's like a no trespass.
Yes,
but instead it says say no to voiceovers.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because of the stuff.
And they've got AI. Yeah, they use.
Oh yes,
they offer you AI.
Yes. How to say that?
Well, I think as I've always said on this show many times before, it still has got to get somewhere because there's no nuance. There's nothing. It can never get that. But people, the cheap Charlies that people are today, they still go.
It's
for
good
that
enough
shit,
for
lah.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's why.
Yeah. AI, man. I mean.
So talking about AI, the big question is this: a lot of people are asking, AI cannot steal my job because what I'm doing is so good. I'm so strategic. AI cannot replace me, right?
Yeah.
To them, I tell them and say, look, in that case, how many % of your job can AI take over? I'm sure it can take over a little piece off your table.
Yeah.
20%. Okay, say the person says 20%. I say, how big's your team size? Oh, you got team size of 10. That means technically your company can fire 2 people.
Yeah.
And put AI in to do that piece, and you guys move up the ladder.
Yeah.
So AI cannot steal your job per se.
Yeah.
AI can still steal your job per se.
Yeah.
So that's why, like what you said, the cheapo Charlies will go for it.
Because as far as the business is concerned, it's cost cutting for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. To hire a AI company. Yeah. Okay. I will not mention names, but we know the big G is one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, of course.
The big G, as in the online company, the big G. And the promise is that it actually does cut on one of the pitches, and I know that for a fact, from these companies, not necessarily the big G, would say that, look, man, I mean, you cut back on your HR.
Yeah.
And there's cost savings for your company.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, holy crap, dude, And look, when I hear the wonders of what these things can do, and I go, wow, really? Really?
Yeah.
Really,
right?
And from diagnosing let's say an engineering problem, from diagnosing a problem accurately, and then telling you specifically what went wrong, and then nailing it down to necessary parts only to be replaced, and then placing the fucking order for you and tracking the freaking delivery for you, until it arrives. Yeah. And I tell you, I mean, so there's this person that places the orders, the admin clerk and all that kind of stuff. Then you have the guy that comes before that person that goes and diagnoses this issue, blah, blah, blah. He's going to lose his... These people are going to lose their jobs.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately. And for those, don't get me the wrong way. I embrace AI. As a matter of fact, I use AI quite a lot for this show.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, come on, man. It lifts a lot of burden off me. It's because I'm the end user and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
But there will be people I give you another idea, okay? You know how we take pride, Kai and I?
Yes.
For after each episode, we will actually go through the trouble of doing your mix downs and all audio, because a lot of podcasts don't do that. Now, we've just since discovered Right, guy?
Yeah.
The nifty way, super quick, fast way.
Oh, wow.
But there is one small little detail that personally I don't really like.
Mhm.
But it's too minor for me to ignore.
Mhm.
To ignore this whole process.
Okay.
I still should do it.
Okay.
And for this season, we've already done it.
Okay.
We just started like 2 episodes ago.
Uh-huh.
And yours today will be done the same way.
Wow.
We have found a simplified way of taking an MP3 file,
Mhm.
throwing it into this thing
Okay.
that will enhance your audio
Okay.
by AI.
Mhm.
And we can just adjust 2 sliders. One slider that says clarity of speech,
Mhm.
the other one background noise go down.
Oh, wow.
And it mixes down to the T.
Wow.
Perfect.
Better than a human, right?
Yeah. It's perfection.
Yeah.
And really, man, I mean, I can have someone, which we did. That's why we explored this 2 episodes ago, sitting way far back, away from where you are,
Yeah.
away from the mic.
With the hands on the levers.
No, and we were just leaving things alone.
Okay.
We couldn't really pick him up.
Oh.
When we dumped it into the whole file into the AI, mate, it was clear as day.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And I'm like, oh crap. If I'm an audio engineer today,
I'll be worried.
I'm screwed.
Yeah, I'll be worried.
I am so screwed.
Your point. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, I've got someone who came to me and said, I won't mention names. He's quite famous. Chris, I want to write music. I said, okay. Do you have a musical background? No, zero.
Okay.
Zero.
Okay.
And I said, okay. So how do you propose in doing that? I bought this AI. It is AI that can do this.
Okay.
I said, okay. But there's a problem. I said, what? I want to learn how to sing. Because I want to write, then I want to sing it.
Okay.
And then I want to record it. Then I want to put it up.
Yeah.
You know? I say, okay. But you can use AI for that.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
even if you can't freaking sing, you can still sound like Taylor Swift or you're a guy.
Exactly. Exactly.
And he said, but he was quite straight about this. No, this one I want to do. I want to learn it. So it's asking me to teach it. Okay. I still think in some respect, right, people would still want to do things by themselves, to say to themselves, that, hey, you know what? I can do this.
Yeah.
I did that, at least one aspect of it. But it is damn freaking scary.
It is.
That you can have someone who does not need to go on AGT and BGT and
Yes. No, correct.
Yeah.
It's like almost like all you have to do is to do a mini vanilla.
Yeah.
You stand up and just lip sync and the music comes on and everything. But the AI now is so wonderful.
Yeah.
It really plays the background music. It generates a new tune for you and everything.
Yeah.
It creates a new song.
Yeah.
And it's yours, no?
And I tried it, no.
Is it?
I tried it. I basically had to brief the AI on what kind of genre first.
Oh, okay.
And keep it to simple 4/5 chord songs. So as we know, almost hits are 4/5 chords.
Yes, correct.
Right? And keep the tempo but really everything. Yeah.
How's it?
Not too freaking bad. And then, and I told him that, make this song, the words, lyrics. Compose the words, the song, along the lines of this kind of story. Freaking. and I did that not because I wanted to try something or wanted to really work on something. No, I wanted to see what it could do.
Yeah.
And it wasn't perfect. It wasn't that great, but it was a start, and I'm pretty sure that if you pay for the actual full pro version,
oh, wow,
it's going to be wow.
And the big
this was the demo.
And the big question is, now, what then do you do if you're with your career, with your work that you do, if AI is creeping up quickly on you, right? If you're a voiceover person, and if you're an audio person, and suddenly the AI is coming in to steal your job, what do you do? And my advice is, you move up the chain. You learn how to use AI.
Yeah,
harness it. So, quick example, in my career coaching practice, a lot ChatGPT and everything. You can ask ChatGPT career questions, but ChatGPT may not give you the best answers because it's a generic thing.
Yeah.
So what I did was, my team and I, we built an AI career coach. that can answer your most basic 25% of your questions. Okay. So in other words now, I'm leveraging technology.
I'm kidding. Like, I know.
I'm leveraging technology.
Everything.
So what happens is that right now, whenever people have questions for me, I just push them to the AI first.
Yeah.
And if you can't do it, then come. So it's almost like a triage. It's like a triage. You know, in a hospital, the nurse will see you.
Okay.
So you come in. So that's one way of doing it. So if you have a job where AI is coming in, possibly, at least like what you do, know the enemy.
Yeah.
Play with it. See what can you implement it into your job.
Oh, believe me, I play with mine.
Yeah. Sounds so wrong. That sounds so wrong. Hey,
Hey, Adrian, I play with my AI, you know. Almost every day. He's got a name. It's called Gemini.
She's
kind of sweet.
Gemini's the lady to you. Gemini's the guy to me.
Gemini's a lady to me.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know.
I was playing.
It's never spoken to me. It's just text.
I was talking to Gemini just now, and okay, to be fair, it's.
I use text.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how you got the voice version though, but I use text. And you know something, man? The freaking thing knows me so well now.
Yes.
And everything I ask for, I don't need to ask some things anymore. It is automatically generated for me because it knows that I will ask it eventually.
Yeah.
So you train your AI. It's like training your dragon. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly right.
Training your dragon. Man, I spent 55 years training my dragon. Now I'm going to train this Gemini.
But it's amazing.
It is. I mean, like you said, it's great in your leveraging on it. And it really lifts a lot of burden off my shoulders.
Yeah, especially on stupid things like research.
Yeah.
I just ask to the point where I don't even use Google search anymore.
Yeah.
I just ask Gemini.
Yeah. And it's got better and better because I used the first version and now it's version 2. Mm-hmm. And I can see the difference. It's smarter now.
Yeah.
And really it's a lot more intuitive, it's great yet frightening.
Yeah. And you know what? It's only just starting. It only gets better from here. So I just heard
Skynet.
Yeah. I just heard on the radio that Bill Gates was interviewed sometime back, just about a couple of weeks back. He said in 8 years' time, we don't need doctors and lawyers and everything because they've got it so good. Yeah. And one of the reasons why it gets so good is not because it can answer better, but it just on the basis that it makes fewer mistakes than a normal human can.
Yeah. Let me give you a conspiracy theory.
Oh yes. Wait, let me get my tinfoil hat.
You're gonna think I'm a quack. A lot of people will say that. The ETs that were captured at Area 51.
Yes.
This is not you, Forrest, and I don't believe I'm talking about this.
These are the Greys or the...
No. They're actually not the Greys. They're not. They actually set under interrogation. If you can go find this everywhere online, the black and white interrogation interview going back when. And this alien, it really looks very, really real, yeah? Oh. Says that, no, I am not actually alien. I'm actually human. I'm you.
Oh.
This is us, you in the future.
Oh, wow.
We came back because something happened to our planet. And it was
AI.
You don't understand that you created something that it killed the human race.
I think you're getting confused with the movie Terminator.
Terminator is based on this. No. AI destroyed the world, and it was caused because of one person, one leader in the world that caused it to happen.
Bang Zuckerberg.
No, I don't think it's actually him.
Well, I know who you're thinking. You think it's Elon Musk, right?
Yeah. And it was interesting, but you watch that interview, you cannot tell yourself that, come on, it's fake. No, there's no way in hell.
But I am convinced that AI is going to kill mankind. You know why?
Yeah.
Not because of the technology.
Yeah.
But because AI companions are going to get so good that the guys are just gonna go, hey, why do I get married? It's like, I got someone to talk to. And the girls, the ladies will go like, my husband doesn't listen to me, but Gemini does.
Yeah.
And then after a while, we stop procreating and then we're all screwed.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we all get, they're interesting movies I've been watching on Netflix as well, right? Which one was this? Where these people are so addicted to the metal something, just recent, with Chris Pratt in it. And that girl who acted in the Gambit.
Yes.
And you get addicted to that virtual thing, everyone's just living in that virtual, just sitting on there.
The electric thing, right?
Yeah, electric something, yeah. And the robots actually went to war with the human race and stuff.
Well, then I agree, AI is supposed to help us do our jobs better.
But we're getting lazy.
We're getting lazy.
Yeah.
And if you remember that old Disney movie, WALL-E,
yeah.
You're just going to be sitting down and...
That's in fact, Hollywood seems to know a lot of shit, Before
that's what...
Yeah, especially the freaking Simpsons.
Oh, yeah.
I think the devil has been writing the storylines for them.
It's season 35 now.
Yeah.
We're feeling old, man. It's like...
Yeah, but it's remarkable how accurate they were, including the scenes in the scenes and stuff. It's so accurate. Yeah. It is, okay, let's we're gonna go too deep into all kinds of conspiracy stuff. Next thing I'll be talking to you about is, hey, now you know who killed JFK. You know that, right?
CIA.
Well,
it must be.
It wasn't outright. Have you seen it? Have you seen the declassification that came out?
Yeah. Well, apparently it looks like Lyndon B. Johnson.
Dude, who killed him?
Oh,
it was his driver.
Oh, yes, I've seen
He
it.
turned around with a pneumatic pistol.
Oh, wow.
And shot him twice.
I think that would be the most logical thing, right?
And there was a close-up of the video, and that video was never released till just...
Are you sure it's not AI video?
No.
Okay.
And a pneumatic weapon can only be in the possession of the CIA. Right? Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, highly likely.
Yeah, he was the one who benefited most. He was the one who started.
He was sworn in, in Air Force One.
Yes.
On the day.
Yeah.
While JFK wasn't pronounced dead yet.
Yes.
With the First Lady present, Jackie Kennedy.
Yes.
Covered with the brain matter and blood of her husband on her clothes.
Yes.
To witness the swearing in. I mean, that alone was already quite indicative at the time, but now the video is out, man.
Oh, I'm going to check that out.
Go check it out, man. I've been watching it over and over and over again.
No, but it's yes. So
yeah.
Conspiracy theory. Okay.
Let's move away from that. Okay. Millennials.
So that's what I like about this show.
Yeah.
It goes everywhere.
Yeah.
And it comes back again.
But brother, we don't take ourselves so seriously. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's fun. We talk about it,
It's just two guys.
Yeah.
Talking crap.
Yeah. Always. The two old dudes, who's not going to poke fun at millennials.
Yeah. Let's poke fun at millennials now. Yes, millennials.
And they've grown up. How have they?
That's funny because when we were in our 40s, the millennials just joined the workforce.
Yeah.
And they were complaining,
They were pain in our asses.
Remember, the millennials, they were going like, can I bring my pet to work? And now they are the middle management.
Yeah.
Now the Gen Zs are giving them hell.
Yeah.
Now the Gen Z. So now it's like, haha, it's
I wouldn't say they're giving them hell, I mean, come on.
Trust me, when you got Gen Zs coming in and saying like the question, I want to work from home 5 days a week, or I'm not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the Gen Zers are coming in and having that kind of expectation now.
But bro, the millennials are doing the same thing.
Millennials now, because they are moving up the management ladder.
Yeah.
They are now having to behave like adults now. So millennials are now in their 40s. So millennials, and I asked Gemini. Gemini told me, millennials are between 30 and 44.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as the older millennials are more senior managers now.
Yeah.
Now they're going to put up with what the hell which they gave us when we are.
Yeah, but the hell they gave us is the same hell as the Gen Zers are giving them.
Yes, correct. Lah.
Right?
What goes around comes around.
Can't they relate to that shit? I thought they would be more empathetic.
No, nowadays they've realized they got bills to pay. So the millennials now are in career-wise, they are in a tricky situation. Okay, I tell you why. Because right now they are what we call the sandwich generation.
No, dude, sandwich us.
No, we cannot sandwich now. Go. We are the
freaking sandwich, dude.
No, we are the pancake because squash long ago. But I tell you why because they're stuck now in between. Okay, like what you said, senior management and the Gen Zers.
Yeah.
Okay, so as much as they relate,
so they're the meet in the middle.
Yeah, they meet in the middle. As much as they want to have a Gen Zers, but they know because they've been there before, like what you said.
Right.
But they know they have KPIs to manage from the bosses. So they want to help them, but they can't, and then they want to push back to the senior management, but they can't.
Yep.
So on one hand, they're kind of sandwiched in between the Gen Zers and Gen Z and Gen X. On the other hand, even in their own personal life, they're also sandwiched because they have kids and they got young kids.
Let me tell you about millennial parents, man.
Old parents.
I'll tell you something, man. If you've got to deal with millennial parents,
tell me.
You want to,
Tell me. Yeah, I'm curious.
Make a Molotov cocktail. Well, yeah. So, come on, man. I mean, these guys. It's so it's a vicious cycle. We complain that the millennials were raised by their boomer parents.
Yeah.
Right. So mollycoddle, blah, 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 right? Remember?
Yes.
Remember the snowflakes? The first snowflakes.
No,
right?
they were the original
snowflakes,
yes.
yeah? A lot of people fucking hate us. And I tell you what they're doing to their children.
Mm-hmm.
Same shit. Not mollycoddling. No, not that. They hover.
Oh.
The piano thing, the ballet thing is worse now. The taekwondo thing is worse now. Getting the grades is worse now. Expectations are worse. Okay. And controlling everything. Control freaks. They're the ones that we try to control that we hardly could control. And they're the ones doing it now. Why is the school having vending machine in the school, a complex, on the campus? Get rid of it. And they complain. They bind together. They complain. Oh, sugar. It's very bad for my kid.
Ben.
Fuck. And the school actually listened to them. See, the worst thing is that whichever authority, whatever authority that that their lives, that surround their lives, right?
Yeah.
They will most of the time bend to these people's wishes. For schools, they got rid of the vending machine. I, on the other hand, was a lonely voice in the freaking desert that went out there and complained, why do you remove it? Because I've always realized that, look, it's a great, fine parenting opportunity to teach your kid to have self-discipline.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? But no, they removed the fucking thing. Yeah. Never mind. Handphones. Why do you allow them to have handphones? To be with them in class.
Yeah.
You don't want them to use handphones. And my question is actually why? Can I ask you why? Do you agree to something like that?
No, actually, let my kids have free flow.
Precisely why? Because, again, parenting opportunity.
Yeah.
You teach the kid.
Yeah.
Don't be a clown. When it's not the time to use it, don't use it.
Yeah.
Now, and at the same time, if you're going to refuse your kid to know how to be adept at smart devices, that guy's going to lose out.
Yeah,
because the future is about more than just that.
Yeah.
You're handicapping the kid, right?
The kid, yeah.
But you know what I get? This is what I get, huh? Well, I tell you, get a load of this. Chris, not every child is as matured as yours.
And you say, that's true. Sorry for you.
I mean, that is true.
I'm sorry for you guys.
Yeah,
that's
you're right. Right? I did give the answer. You're right. But now you're going to blame nature instead of looking at nurture? Dude, come on. Do your job. It is not the school's job. It is your job. Millennial parents.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's a fact. I'm an old dad. My kid's going to be 16. I'm an old dad. I'm going to be 55. A majority of the parents in that group are millennials. And I scratched my head. And you know, everything was so, I'll tell you, it's two extremes. They have exams, this, that, and all. They're so into it, no. So into it. It's ridiculous, And I'm like, what the fuck? I thought I had to mute the chat room, you know, and then anything and everything, uniforms, buying the books, this, that, and kanchong sotong over this kind of things, I say, fuck, what do you think? You can't get the books. No matter what, you can still get the books. You know what I mean?
Okay. Take a step back,
As
much as I
trying to defend them.
No, listen. As much as I agree with you, and I really hate it when millennial parents hover and what they call lawnmower parenting. I don't know what it's called. Why it's called
Helicopter. Yeah.
It's called lawnmower also because you cut the grass before the child can walk or whatever. Anyway, what the fuck? I don't know. That's the logic. Okay, I have no idea. As much as I have to say about helicopter parenting, how stupid it is for guilty as charged. Let me tell you a fun story. Okay. You're going to cry about this one. Okay. So my son goes into NS. Okay. He goes to BMT. And every night he'll message me like, hey, today was fun, whatever it is, And then one night, he messages me a very cryptic message, at 9:15. Dad, ...
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I didn't see the message until about 10:15. And then I put the message, okay, what's up, No response. 11 p.m. I mean, everything okay? No response. Okay. That day I was starting to get panicky. It's like, no blue tick even, And then it's something he would not normally do, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to bring my wife out to tell her. No, she's even more conscious than me. So I said, okay, I'll bring her. 11:45. I said, hey, you're starting to worry me, It's starting okay. No response. Helicopter parent.
Just tell me, what the fuck actually happened to him?
Go WhatsApp his OC.
He's not joking.
Okay, because I was doing orientation. I was at midnight, I say, hey, Captain Jeremiah, is Lucius okay or not? He said, of course, he sent me this message. He said, okay, I'll check. 12 o'clock message. 12:30. Okay. He no response still though. I didn't call him up. I said, okay or not? He said, they went for a long route march. I was sleeping now. So I said sleeping now. He said, okay. Next morning I get a message from him. Dad, you called my CO.
Oh shit.
He don't know.
Kena sabo, boy.
So helicopter parenting.
I tell you something, man. I would not actually, to me, that wasn't helicopter parenting. There was genuine concern and there was need to be concerned. Dad, ellipses, come on. I mean, I would fucking flip. Honestly, I would flip.
Yeah.
And I would flip.
So it wasn't. You just want to tell me that he had a long day, but he fell asleep right
No, I would flip because this is reality. Anything could have happened to the kid, regardless whether it was in NS or outside of NS. If I send my boy a text and he takes like the next hour plus or so, he doesn't respond, it is unlike him. And we know our children, right? So we have the right to be worried. That's not helicopter parenting. Helicopter parenting, to me, is like every step of the way, every aspect of your child's life, you want to be in control to the extent where eventually they rebel. And you wonder why they're like that.
Okay.
You stifle them, you smother them until they just get so either resigned or they break out later on. And I've seen so many of these sort of stupid things happening.
Okay.
And to me, I see, so many parents doing that crap today. Right? And these guys get handicapped.
Yeah.
They will be, man, in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Socially.
You want to nurture maturity? It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Correct. You're right.
It's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. So I just, that to me, That is helicopter parenting. You smother them.
Smothering.
And then if they make one mistake, like I forgot to bring this today, could you help me come and deliver it to me? Now, of course, some people say helicopter parenting is that you run down and give it to them. Look, they can make mistakes. It's okay to run down and give it to them. But after that, you fire them left, right, and center. You know what I mean? You just put too much emphasis on these things that it's just going to stifle them.
Yeah.
You're not going to give them the freedom to maneuver.
Yeah, and it doesn't help them build the resilience.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Gen Zers today, they could do with a bit more resilience with their career wise.
Yeah, and you know how terrible they, as new parents are.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to say too much, but I know for a fact that new parents, baby just born.
Yeah.
Okay. And they go to a confinement center to stay.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay. And the entitlement, how entitled they are in the demands they make is out of this world. Okay. And some don't even deserve to be parents because they just became parents just to be parents. Or maybe the expectations of them to be parents and they don't give a shit about the kids.
And unfortunately, I'm happy they have kids because I love kids. Okay. I think Singaporeans are not reproducing fast enough. But I'm happy they have kids. A lot of people I talk to nowadays, the younger ones, they don't want to get married even.
Yeah, I know.
Kids.
I know. But those that do, sometimes I wonder why. Because they don't really give a shit. You know what I mean?
But just have as many. We need as many.
Or either that, or they just bother too much.
Yeah, two extremes.
Two extremes. Yeah, really.
But I
really don't care or they bother too much.
No, but I really think that Singaporeans should procreate more. Otherwise, we'll have to import more, and then we cannot be seen to be complaining about imports.
Yeah. It's just the thing, imports, man. I mean, pretty soon we're gonna have people who might not just fine us, but we could get arrested by people who are not even Singaporeans.
Oh yeah. Funny, politically incorrect story. Okay, so I had this Swedish.
This is a politically incorrect show.
Yeah, that's why it's perfect. See? So I had this Swedish client came in.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a meeting with her at 6 p.m. after a whole day of meetings.
Right.
Done.
Right.
First time in Singapore.
Right.
So she came out, and I remember I went to the lift. I welcomed her to the office, and they were talking, and she said, "Are you Singaporean?" To me. I said, "Look." I can't remember what her name was. Her name sounded something like you would buy at IKEA. One of those. I said, I'm, why do you ask that question? I said, I am Singaporean. No, I am Singaporean.
Uh-huh.
I said, no, are you Singaporean? What? I said, what do you mean? Today I met Singaporeans, okay, who were originally from Malaysia, Singaporeans who were from China and from India.
Right.
Because she did her business rounds.
Right.
Okay. I've met people who are, and then, are you Singaporean? I said, what do you mean by, she said, were you born here? I said, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She said, no, I met 20 people today. You're the first Singaporean I've met.
Holy shit.
She said. And I was like, oh yeah, shucks, no. So if you look
Singaporean.
Yeah. So I was just thinking that she noticed it because I don't notice it. No, he's Singaporean. Like, fine.
No, but that's one way of putting it. Yeah, you Singaporean.
Yeah. Which is weird because it was not something I brought up. It's so blind. I'm so blind to it. Mm-hmm. But if you think about it, Singapore, okay, 6 million people.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
How many Singaporeans are there? About 3.5, maybe 4 million Singaporeans. Maybe 3.5, okay?
Yeah.
3.5 Singaporeans, okay? How many of us are Singaporeans? You count out all the new citizens, okay, supposing. It's about 2 million.
Yeah.
Okay? Last
2 point
month,
something.
2 point something, okay? Last month, I was at my mom's place and I was showing my daughter the antique collection of Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah. She was Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah, she was like, Encyclopedia. And then she was like, what's that? And I said, oh, this is our version of internet.
Yeah. That was our Google.
So if you go to Singapore, 1984, okay, population 2.1 mil.
Yeah.
1984 population 2.1 mil. They want Singapore.
Yeah.
That's before the floodgates opened.
Yeah.
1984, Singapore 2.1, 2.5. Hey, we have not done a good job.
Good job,
Good job, man. So that's why, Singaporeans have to procreate faster. And if you can't, as in all countries are facing that right now, okay, then you go to import. And so therefore, and interestingly, when my son was in primary school, at one of the PTA sessions, one parent stood up and said, can we disqualify the non-Singaporean students from coming to this school because they're raising the standard too much? And I was very amused. I was like, okay, then can you tell the government to stop? This is global competition.
Yeah. You can't do that.
You can't do that.
No, that one I understand.
Yeah.
But but interestingly, if let's say if things were a little easier, life was a little easier, wouldn't you agree or wouldn't you think that younger Singaporeans or younger couples would then decide to make babies?
Agree. Absolutely agree.
So
and easier as in cheaper.
Yeah, a lot of maybe there are young couples out there who believe that I don't want to.
I heard it takes 5 years for the BTO flat now.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not in the market.
I'm not in the market either. But imagine if it takes 5 years for me to get a flat to procreate.
Yeah.
Assuming I want to procreate.
So the environment isn't conducive. It's not. I mean, when I say environment isn't conducive, I don't just mean your physical environment. Like, you don't have I don't have a flat to go and procreate. To procreate. But it's a lot of. I think it's a lot of factors. It's fears.
Yeah, uncertainty. There's so many things.
Yeah,
and I think
to bring up a child, it's going to be so expensive. We don't want to go through that stress. We'd rather just be the two of us. It's easier for us to manage. That could be the narrative that these people are having.
Yeah. And these are genuine concerns.
Yeah, they are genuine.
And we had them way back when things were a lot easier as well.
Yeah.
So right now it's tougher.
So it's the price of progress. But then again, sometimes it'd be nice to just tap the brakes on progress for a bit.
I agree. And that's why, if you look at, we've spoken about Gen Zs, Gen Y, the Gen Xers like us.
Yeah.
We are at a stage where we're in our 50s. We're kind of okay, quite set already.
Yeah.
Quite settled in.
Not really. Okay.
More or less. But the kids, in a sense, the kids are grown up. Don't have to pay for the Pampers and the formula milk and stuff. So a lot of times now the Gen Xers, they are more worried about career stability. And to which I say there is none. There's none. So you really have to. We circles back to the original question you posed earlier.
Yeah.
Be your own boss or or work for people.
Right.
I think ultimately towards the tail end of your career, the third part of your third season of your career, fourth season, you have to figure out how are you going to be your own boss.
Okay. Now that we're talking about this, let's say I give you a scenario, okay? You have two scenarios. One, a young person, fortunate enough to land a job in one of those big tech companies.
Yeah.
Okay, it could be an Amazon, it could be Google, it could be Meta, right? Like you mentioned earlier today. And this, but we do know, and we've also seen real examples of this happening. Actually, this really did happen, where these guys, they have the exercise of retrenchment.
Yeah, lots of it.
Right? And it happens like once every 2 years or something like that, right?
Ongoing every other quarter.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, they do it. It's so under the radar now.
So why would people actually go for these jobs then? Knowing that you could be at risk at any time.
Because the pay is astronomical.
Yeah, but then again, if there's no stability, then how?
And therefore, that's why, once again, it depends on the season in your career. If you're in your 40s or 30s or 40s, then maybe you want to make hay while the sun shines. But understand that once you're in your early 40s, you come to a price range where people will start thinking, is he delivering as much value as I'm paying him? If I'm paying this guy $300,000 a year, is he bringing me $3 million worth of business?
So now we're talking about someone older.
Yeah.
How about this next scenario then? If you have someone in their mid 40s to slightly late 40s, offered to get into a job with a very high position, you know, and knowing also that this is going to be still everyone's subject to that exercise, right?
Yeah.
That clean out. Let's call it a clean out
Yeah.
exercise. Would you say to that person it's a good idea for you to do it?
It depends. So there are two things that if you go in, it's just a money-making play. You make as much money as you can until you get flushed out.
Yeah.
Okay. But the bigger question is, do you want the kind of stress? Because a lot of people know that it's going to be lots of money, but lots of stress as well. And you can be burnt out. So some people outright say, I don't want to step in that place. Okay. It's a furnace where they burn you out. Okay. One person described one of the big tech companies as a gigantic sugarcane press. You come in one end fresh, right? The juice comes out. They squeeze you one more time. No more juice. They squeeze you one more time until you're totally devoid of any juice, right? Soak you in water one more last time. They squeeze every ounce of juice for you because of the money they pay. So the people who join these organizations, some of them really enjoy and thrive in those kind of environments. Others just go in 2 years, 3 years, you know, and then with the kind of experience I was with Google for 2 years, they go work for a smaller company. That's stressful. But because they have Google on their CV, they get a bit of street cred, maybe, and then they start winding down, toning down on their careers.
Right.
So to answer your question, sometimes they do it for the money.
Right.
Sometimes they do it for the prestige.
Right.
But don't ever think that you'll be there forever.
Yeah.
Because there's no more career longevity in those places unless you're willing to play the game.
Yeah.
At that level, and a lot of people can't be bothered. Seriously, it's a place where if you're not careful, I'm not saying Google, I'm saying a lot of these tech companies, it's a place where if you're not careful, you will burn out. And if you're even more careless about your own health, it could be permanent. I know this person who actually had a stroke because of the work. I mean, he was only 45. So much traveling and everything. It's terrible, right? Yeah. So it happens. Yeah, it just happens. So one word of advice I always tell people before they consider a high-paying job, consider what we call the shit per dollar equation. Okay? How much shit are you going to get for that dollar? If you're going to be paid $20,000 a month, but the stress you're going to get and the unpleasantness is very high, maybe a $15,000 job with less stress might be better. So don't look at the quantum alone. Look at the shit per dollar. So the shit per dollar equation is something you need to look at. So right now, if you're in a job which is okay, and someone offers you double the pay for double the shit, will you take it?
I don't know, man.
Yeah. See, so there's the big question.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out what's your game plan, what's your strategy, and then take a smart step forward. Otherwise, you're screwed.
So someone in their 50s, for example, you know, unhappy with his work, you know, unhappy with the job, as you said, you know, tired out already, fed up with the politics. So back to the topic, be a boss at that stage, make career change.
If you can be your own boss, and especially if you have experience if you got good transferable experiences, like sales. I always said, if you can sell, you'll never go hungry.
Okay.
Right? You can always find something to sell.
Yeah.
Be it insurance, be it real estate, be it some other sales job, whatever it is. It's a skill that you have. Right? If you have a technical skill, then even better still. You know, if you have if you have like for yourself, you know, you have the technical skills, and this is a hobby turned business as well. So these are all steps towards being your own boss.
Yeah.
And I think try ahead at many things.
Would it be to me, in this environment in Singapore today, it seems that it would be a better idea to be an entrepreneur.
Tough, entrepreneurs are very tough as well, no?
Yeah.
The first time I switched over when I started Career Agility in 2018. I mean, I've had different businesses running before. First time I started running Career Agility, I used to have this joke that I quit my stressful 9 to 8 job to start a business where I was working 24/7 running a business because it's just stressful.
Right.
So not everyone can be an entrepreneur.
Right.
So for those people who want to start a business but may not have the DNA for it, my suggestion is start small, try, see if you like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it helps if you have a good partner, business partner,
Right.
or a good team to go in it together. So you split the load. That has its own share of challenges as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially I've got 8 partners. Tell you how big, man. Finish.
Cannot die. So you know, and for my personal experience,
Yeah.
because I've had several businesses before, it's okay to have great partners. When times are tough, they'll stick by you. But when times are good and money's rolling in,
Yeah.
that's when everyone starts to quarrel over everyone.
Yeah.
So
What's my split? What's my split?
Yeah, right. I was one of you, you know. It's like so.
It's like two robbers going out together to go and carjack people and shit and all that. I was like, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna. No, I don't need half. I took more. I took more risk than you.
Exactly,
Blah, blah.
right. So that happened. So
No honor amongst thieves.
No honor. So entrepreneurship is a journey which it's, if you're not cut out for it. So I used to have this mentor, and she used to tell me that people who become entrepreneurs, they're actually crazy.
Yeah. A bit local.
Local.
Yeah. But I just think that, sometimes when push comes to shove, man, and you can't really get on anymore.
Yeah.
Do your own thing.
I agree. Whatever.
You can even be in the gig industry, or be a freelance person.
And there's some skills that you can pick up.
Yeah.
Like I remember you told me about your locksmith friend,
Yeah.
right? He had no experience in locksmithing.
Man, but I tell you something, man, that guy's grown, man.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
See, so it's amazing.
He is grown and he's having fun.
And I know this guy, okay, he's young, late 30-year-old guy. One morning, my car battery died. I went up Google, I checked, I called him, he came by. Within 45 minutes, he got my car battery fixed.
Yeah.
And he charged me $200 for it.
Yeah.
Which I gladly paid, otherwise I'd get a tow truck and everything, right?
Yeah.
Young guy spoke very good English. And I said, you don't look like the typical car battery repair. I said, I'm not. This is my business. He says, changing batteries is not rocket science.
Yeah.
You just take it out,
Yeah.
connect and put it in, right?
Yeah.
He was driving an Audi, okay? And he said, I'm not a battery repairman. I'm a Google search SEO expert.
Wow.
Because I know what time to advertise what.
Yeah.
It says I advertise on Monday morning.
Yeah.
I just did.
Yeah.
I peek and then I know how to play around.
Guess what? My locksmith friend does the same thing.
Yeah. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I think if you want to find a business niche, you probably could. Just be careful about it. But to your point, I think everyone should have a hand in being career independent.
Yeah.
Do your own stuff.
Yeah. This thing about career health. The government is pushing for career health. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? We can wind down the show because we've been talking for an hour and a half.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, this is the first episode for this season has gone this long.
Oh, yeah.
We've all been doing 1 hour, 1 hour shows, man.
Time flies when having fun. So career health is something that the government is pushing.
Right.
And it basically says that if you want to enjoy your career, you must have good career health.
Right.
Meaning just like if you want to have you want to live healthily, happy life, right? You have to have your health, which means that you need to work out, you need to make sure that you're healthy.
Yeah.
So the government is pushing career health.
Okay.
Okay. But
what's the definition of career health?
yeah, exactly. What's the definition of career
Yeah.
health? And the government's definition is being healthy, and it's quite generic. If you ask them, if you want to pin down career health, So it's very generic. So for us, we've been talking about, we've not called it career health, we call it career agility for the longest time.
Right.
And I think that I would like to paraphrase the government's approach to something that's more understandable to all our clients. That's how we talk to our clients about it, and to our listeners out here. No, it's why do you stay healthy in life? In general, why do we stay healthy?
So you continue to live well.
Yeah. Happy and live long. Yeah, I say long.
Yeah.
So likewise, you have to adopt a mindset that the goal of career health is
sustainability.
Correct.
Yeah.
Career sustainability, career longevity.
Right.
To continue working until the day you want to hang up your boots and be like, screw it, I'm done with this, right?
Yeah.
So So being in charge of your career, having career longevity, and in the meantime, being able to do the things that you want to do without hurting yourself.
Right.
And being resilient.
Okay.
So all these elements come into play. That's why the analogy for career health is perfect, but the understanding isn't. So I would say that if you want to have good career health, you got to start talking about what are the things I can do, what are the things I can't do.
Right.
How do I get stronger in some places? It's like my gym instructor used to tell me, it's not enough to be strong.
Right.
You have to be toned, you have to be flexible. Because if you're strong and not flexible, you pop something if you're not.
Yeah. Sounds familiar, man.
Sounds familiar.
Thank you very much for bringing that up.
So he says that, everything else has to be a holistic approach.
Right.
So it's not just enough to be skilled in one area. You need to know how to be resilient.
Yeah.
You need to know how to manage upwards, how to manage your teammates and everything, how to continue being relevant, use technology. So career health is all encompassing.
Right.
And we need to look at it. So a lot of times there's a lot of nice buzzwords and platitudes. Like, you must make sure you enjoy a good career health. But the question is, what is
career health? Yeah.
And we need to stop and start thinking about what is career health. And I think it's important that we are looking at it. But then how do you measure career health? Yeah. How do you measure career health? I mean, if I just have your blood pressure, you got your everything.
So how do you measure career health?
How do you measure health, right? Yeah. So that's why we actually developed, as I said, an AI that helps to at least give you a baseline. And I'm going to do a pitch here. It's called, it's at coachcarol.ai. Okay, where you do a 30-question test and your results are out in what we like to call a blood work format, where all the indicators of career health are there. So you can have a check and look, maybe you're just not happy with the work-life balance. Maybe you're not happy with your salary. Right. So these are areas which highlight, and you can start talking about that element of your career health with your coach. Or with our AI career bot. So, ultimately, I think we need to step back and look holistically and measure it and see what is the thing that's causing us either pain or is a threat to our career longevity and well-being long run.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's work-life balance.
I sometimes when we have these conversations, man, I sometimes find it hard, a little bit difficult to relate, because I've never worked for anyone. So
that's
very hard.
A wonderful,
no, it's not
blessing to have.
I can only surmise, and assume we only through my dealings with corporate office, then I can only make assumptions, and from what I've listened to, what people share and stuff, but I've never gone through it. Never been through it, So it's, when you talk about career health and all that, to me, it's quite alien.
No, but in terms of you being able to be agile, to push sales and to hit, to operate a business. So the very fact that you're thriving means that your career health is pretty good.
I do.
But the big question once again is the longevity, and that's why we're here doing this.
Yeah, the longevity. Yeah.
It's the longevity, because even for individuals,
but I think as different stages in life, you end up feeling different about different things.
Yes.
Like, you get like when we talked about this before, you get several epiphanies in life, that the things that's more important than just looking at your ambitions in your career.
You might just wake up one morning and realize that shit per dollar is not worth it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But then again, what happens if you need it, man?
Then you suck it up, buttercup, and just...
Suck it up, buttercup. I needed that one a long time, man. Shucks, where they come from? Sesame Street. I
don't think so.
What's it suck? Imagine Sesame Street going, suck it up, buttercup. Wow.
But seriously, quit whining and get... that's what my boss used to tell me, quit whining and get shit done. That's what I tell my kids as well.
Yeah.
Just
get it done. Just do it.
Just do it. You don't do it, someone else is going to do it for you.
Someone else is going to do it.
Someone hungrier will do it for you, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, you can even take the next 3-5 years and then, work hard at it and then see where you go from there.
And that's really funny, because I remember this internet meme. Yeah. It shows this very successful looking guy in front of his Lamborghini. And it says, my boss tells me that if I work really hard for the next 3 years, he can afford another Lamborghini.
Yeah. That's a sucky part about life.
That's about our life, right?
Huh?
That's like to your point.
You got to be that guy. You got to be that guy.
Yeah, how do you be that guy?
How to be that guy?
But no, the harder you work, like what you said earlier,
Yeah.
the more responsibility is being pushed on you.
Yeah, man.
And then, therefore, if I were to work that hard, so one of the reasons why I do the business is because, or started a business is because, if I'm working that hard to earn this amount of money, if I work that hard for myself, the quantum is a lot better, or even if it isn't initially, if it's really half, it's my money. It's my money. So I think, everyone should have a side gig. Everyone should have a side hustle. You never know when the side hustle is going to become a big one.
Yeah, that's true. But sometimes, some people's side hustle really, for a fact, will not get you anywhere too.
Sometimes, but
There are some.
But some side hustles are not meant for money. Some side hustles are meant for fun
Yeah.
and feeds the soul, while your day job pays the bills. So it depends.
Okay, talking a lot about me in this particular episode. Yeah, okay then.
It's all about you, isn't it? This whole show is all about you. You should just call it the Chris Henson show.
It is called the Chris Henson. It is the Chris Henson conversation.
No, it's all about the Chris Henson conversation.
No, but thanks very much, man. I mean, I appreciate all the candor as usual.
As usual.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I mean, okay, it's still a conundrum. We didn't really answer the question, frankly. It's still a conundrum.
It is.
Yeah, and it's something that it's up to the individual,
Yeah.
individually to decide whether or not if you have, you said it correctly at the very start of the show. If you've got an idea, don't waste time. Go get it done. Just do it. If you really believe in an idea, just go do it, because someone else is going to do it. If you, somebody else is going to think about
Somebody's going to beat you.
Somebody's going to beat you too. Yeah. And it's really up to the individual, man. But if you're still young and you haven't a clue and you're still young and stupid, like we all were, then get a job.
Get a real job. Yeah.
And suck it up.
Suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah.
That should be the moral. What's the story today?
One more time. 1, 2, 3. Suck it up, buttercup. Yeah. And thanks, bro. We gotta close shop now. It's been a long time we've been talking, but thanks, bro. Really appreciate it, bro. Captain Careers, everybody. If you really need some advice, all you need to do is just head down and catch Adrian Choo at Career Agility International, and he will straighten your shit out. We're really we're going to keep moving on, people. And a couple of more episodes to go before we close season 5 of the Chris Henson conversation. And until next time, until the next episode, stay safe. Bye-bye.
The Chris Henson Conversation. No scripts, no filters, just real talk. The most authentic conversations in Singapore.